What is the difference between an interweave and leading the client? This is a question from one of my consultees. And I love talking about interweaves because they confuse people and they don't have to confuse people. I feel very passionately about this. So, we're going to talk about interweaves today. We're going to talk about this question, understanding the difference between what is an interweave versus leading the client. And I hope that you get to walk away from this video feeling more confident, more joyful about EMDR. If we haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Kambria Evans. I am the teaching and learning EMDR consultant coming to you from my office in San Jose, California, where I have been virtual for 13 months doing virtual EMDR and making videos for my EMDR colleagues all over the world on different topics related to EMDR, practice building, online EMDR, and it's been a lot of fun to connect with all of you. So thank you for all of your feedback. And if you haven't subscribed yet to get my free videos and resources, check out ZeroDisturbance.com. And that is where you can sign up to get, I think we have 6 free downloads up on the website now. So feel free to do that. And if you want to keep getting these videos on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel. Stay connected that way. All right, beautiful. So why are interweaves so confusing? Oh my goodness. It kind of breaks my heart because, phase 4, I think when we're processing a target is one of the most magical phases of EMDR. And it just constantly blows my mind as an EMDR clinician to watch my client moving through phase 4 and to see how their brain is connecting information and what the brain is trying to figure out or learn or integrate. And, y'all know I have an issue with people just saying, just follow standard protocol, because that only works really for clients who have a single incident trauma. I mean, if somebody has a relational trauma background or a complex trauma background, which to be honest is the majority of our clients, you're going to have to use interweaves. And I want people to feel comfortable using them because it can be a lot of fun. So what's an interweave? So the way I think about what an interweave is that it can serve a couple different functions. So I think about zooming out, I think about phase 4 as a place where the brain is doing the most learning, okay? And the brain is like connecting right side, left side, going through time traveling and memories and assessing data to figure out what they want to learn now, okay? So what are interweaves? Interweaves are something that we, almost like as a teacher, utilize to help our learner, our client, facilitate information when they feel like they're looping or stuck. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that we stay out of the way, y'all. We stay out of the way and we come forward with an interweave when there is a need to do so. Okay, so how do we know when there's a need to do so? Because we don't want to lead the client. First of all, I want to say, yes, we do want to lead the client, okay? Leading the client's not a bad thing. Now, we're leading the client in a couple different ways. First and foremost, we're leading them towards the positive cognition of their target setup, right? They're going to have a target memory or image, a negative cognition, positive cognition. Y'all, we're going there. We're going towards the positive cognition. So we are leading the client towards the positive cognition because they've agreed to that. There is a learning contract between the two of us, okay? So leading the client isn't bad, okay? But here is what's not great. It's not great to use an interweave when your client is connecting learning, okay? So like, let's use a really simple example that's not EMDR because that's more fun. When my daughter wants to learn to ride a bike without her training wheels, if she's on her bike and she's like got her feet going and she's figuring out how to go faster and she's figuring out how to balance and her body's got it and her emotions are, and I'm like, hold on, stop, your basket's crooked. Okay, I'm interrupting her learning process. I'm interrupting her somatic learning. I'm interrupting her physical, emotional connection, right? I'm interrupting the cognitions that are formulating, like, oh, I'm capable, I can do this by myself. Okay. I'm getting in the way, y'all, of her learning how to ride a bike without training wheels. Okay. Do not be me in this example, right? When you have a client who's learning and connecting and flowing with their processing in phase 4, you don't need an interweave. Okay. But here's the thing. If my daughter is like throwing her bike on the ground and she's like sitting on the curb and she's like, I can't do this, mommy, right? She has stopped her learning. Okay. So I'm going to use some kind of encounter with her to help her either assess what's going on, assess what she wants and needs, and to see if she wants to get back on the bike and keep going and keep learning and figuring it out. Okay? This is what an interweave is, y'all. Okay? We only use interweaves when the client is feeling maybe frustrated or discouraged. We can use like an encouragement interweaves, which I believe is one of the free downloads I talk about in the Zero Disturbance website. When a client's disconnecting from themselves, either from their body, from their emotions, right? Some people call these like protector parts. I think it's just old learning coming in that's helping the client go away from something that feels hard. So we can offer interweaves to bring the client back to themselves or back to the room with me, right? So we can use interweaves if we notice that dual awareness isn't happening as much, or we can use interweaves to say, what are you noticing in your body, right? Or as you say that, what's the emotion you feel, right? Or where do you feel that emotion in your body now, okay? So kind of using interweaves to help the client be able to do EMDR, right? They have to be able to do a couple things in order to just even do phase 4, right? They have to be able to notice their body, notice their feelings, their emotions, right? They have to be able to report that to you, and they have to keep dual awareness, okay? So interweaves, I believe, can be used to keep those things going. Make sense? So we are leading the client. We're leading them back to themselves moment to moment and back to dual awareness. And we're also leading them to the positive cognition that they agreed to. Okay. But we are not getting in the way if they are rocking and rolling, right? If my daughter is flying on her bike and she's like, I'm doing it, mommy, I'm not going to stop that. Okay. So I want you just to know that the way that we do interweaves wrong is when we get in the way when someone is learning. Okay. The way that we do interweaves right, or ideally, is when someone just needs to come back to themselves or come back to you or come back to the room or kind of refocus back to the target. That positive cognition, right? I want a quiet body. I want a calm body. And I want to get that positive cognition of I am capable now. Okay. So I hope this feels helpful. We are always leading the client, but we're not doing it in a manipulative way because the client has contracted with us to get there. Okay. I'm not tricking my daughter into riding her bike with 2 wheels to the end of the block. She wants to go there. She wants me to lead her there, but she doesn't want me to get in the way if she's figuring it out by herself. Make sense? So I hope this feels helpful. If you are jiving with what I'm saying about learning and old learning and kind of using more simplistic language when it comes to understanding phase 4 and interweaves and EMDR, I talk about all of this and more in my course called The Lesson Plan. It's basically how I wish EMDR had been described to me in my basic training. It's understanding EMDR from the lens of teaching and learning. So you're welcome to check that out on the Zero Disturbance website. There's a link below. You can check it out if you're curious. I hope this feels helpful to you. I hope that you get to experience the magic of phase 4 with your clients. And I hope that you get to feel like excited with them and know that you have these interweaves available if they fall off their bike and they're feeling discouraged or they're disconnecting from themselves, whatever's happening. I want you to feel confident that here's a couple interweaves I can use. Really, there's only like a handful that you need to know when learning has been disrupted or interrupted. Okay, so I hope that feels helpful. It's been so good to connect with you all today. I hope that you are feeling appreciated. I hope that you are feeling like there's some hope and some fun and some joy coming into your life. And I hope that there's some intention that you have when you think about what you want to learn next. Because this profession invites us to learn and grow all the time. And so I hope that you're finding teachers that inspire you. I hope that you're finding things to learn that excite you and give you joy. And I look forward to connecting with you next time. Take care and be safe.